All right, gang. Good morning. Happy Tuesday to you. Welcome back to the live trading room. Hope you guys had a great weekend. If I didn't have a chance to speak to you yesterday, excited to be back for another week of trading. If you guys are watching on YouTube or TradingView, this is what I call the trade of the day live stream, where I walk you through the first trading opportunity that we look at here in the New York Live trading room. Oh, give me a second. Hold on. Just had my laptop die on me. Sorry about that. But yeah, we look at the first trading idea that I have on my radar here in the New York Live trading room. Then I let you go. We do it every Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. And of course, if you want to join for the full session, you can do so as part of your 14-day trial membership over at tier1trading.com. Today, we're going to start over on Dollar Canada. By the way, congrats, Cody, your big win on pound yen. I was looking at that this morning. And I was like, I wonder if Tony caught that. And then you shoot it in. And I'm like, boom, there we go. So I'm glad you made some profit on that. Let's go over to Dollar Canada today. But before we go over there, I want to make sure it's on your attention. We do have GDP coming out today at 8:30. We have a handful of high impact news events coming out tomorrow as well that we'll keep an eye on. But just to put that in the back of your mind, in case you have any rules about avoiding or not avoiding analysis, we've already seen a little bit of a different move here on Dollar Canada, which may change things up. But I'll show you what I was looking at earlier. So we've been looking at Dollar Canada for a while here. If you guys have been watching the weekend trading edge videos, we've been doing a lot of work with head and shoulders. We had a nice head and shoulders top up here. We came down to our target area. We had a nice little reversal right here. We came back up to our target area. And now we're coming into an interesting decision point. And it's a decision point because we're coming back into a previous level of both structure support and structure resistance. If you look at this white line right here that we draw in, price action broke through it, immediately became support again. The neckline of our head and shoulders pattern broke through it, and then right away turned to resistance, right away turned to resistance, right away turned to resistance again, or potential resistance on this third time. So we're at an interesting decision point here in the market where the market's going to have to make up its mind on what's going to happen at this level or in this zone. Are we going to once again hold previous structure and see a continued move to the downside? There's a little bit more room to go downward if we could, or if we do. Or are we going to break through and see a move to the upside? And what I like to do with these scenarios is I like to kind of play out both scenarios in my head. Cody says 135 is a nice number as well. Nice even handle number. We call those psychological numbers, right? There are numbers that come very easy to us humans. Things that end in 0, 0, things that end in 5, 0, right? Halves, quarters, all that fun stuff. Psychological numbers. They do play a role in the market, and you'll often see them act as, powerful levels of structure in their own right. So if we can get past this magical number in this zone, the likelihood of us continuing up is good. And if we do continue up, we're probably going to continue up to this zone right here, right below 137, right at 137s and above, another psychological number. If we continue to the downside, there's two places that I would look for. One is a retest of our most recent structure lows. This is the same area that we held previously right here. And if we can get past that level, we're likely to continue down to our next structural lows down here. So what we're doing is, before we think about any type of trading situation, we're just simply doing analysis. This is kind of a part of a process that we do called IPDE, identify, predict, decide, execute. And we're just mapping out, where do we think price could go? What are the key locations that we want to have on our radar? And then as we go down to our lower time frames, as the market gives us proof, right, that one thing, the probabilities have shifted, that one thing is more likely to happen than the other, then we can follow through on those ideas without kind of being in an emotional or panic state. So initially this morning, I was looking at a bearish opportunity because we're coming into this area and it looked as if we were putting in another head and shoulders pattern. And that could still be the case, right? We're getting a little deeper shoulder here, but initially we had this, we had this, we had this, we had this. And then this morning on the hourly, if you can imagine it, we were stuck right here. Now, if you look closely, we also had some of you guys are probably saying, hey, Akil, we got a cipher pattern. Yes and no, right? So this is a cipher. Yes, X to A to B, B to C, C to D, one of our advanced pattern formations right around here. But this cipher has already completed. So you want to make sure you're not entering aggressively because it's a cipher and whatnot. The move has already been made. It already hit targets. The cipher pattern is done. Everyone has their own rules on how they operate. In my opinion, you never want to, once the pattern is done, it is invalid. You don't want to chase it. You don't want to try and take it again. That is a very poor idea. So if you're seeing this, good eye on identifying the cipher, but not a tradable one in my opinion. So another thing we may have as well, if you look here, is going to be a deep Gartley as well. If we just do one more thing here, X to A, actually maybe a butterfly. Sorry about that, wrong thing. Oop. Give me a second. Let me change my fibs. We're doing a lesson on risk management yesterday. We're talking about different risk management and profit taking tactics. So we threw in some percentages there instead of our normal Fibonacci numbers, right? But let's get those back in here. 3D2, 50%, 618, 76, 86, perfect, right? You can see here we also have a deep Gartley forming as well. So if you are someone that is, and check your data on this to make sure you don't hit the 786. It didn't hit it on any of the charting packages I look at. But if we rally up, we have an X to A to B, B to C, C to D up here at our 127. This could also be interpreted as a bat pattern, right? This is what I looked at last week before the cipher. X to A to B, B to C, C to D right here. So you have a potential bearish bat pattern right here. You have a potential deep Gartley there as well. The X is going to be the same. So the completion zone, or the top of the completion zone, is going to be there regardless. So you got those two opportunities there for bearish opportunities if you're looking for an advanced pattern way to get involved. Again, the area that we identified on the higher time frame up near the 137s, right? If we break these highs, so the X leg of this pattern formation, then it's going to be clear sailing, or should be clear sailing up to that level. So if we can violate this X leg, clear sailing up to our next level of previous structure. So that will be offering bullish opportunities. So we got bearish opportunities in the form of some advanced pattern formations. We've got bullish opportunities in the form of a break and close above this level of structure right here. The head and shoulders that we initially looked at, again, could still be in play, right? You don't always have to have a symmetrical shoulder, right? We could still break down. In order to have that head and shoulders be valid, we're going to need to violate this neckline. But you can see some decent opportunities here on Canada. We're at a location right now where we're kind of, as my mentor would say, stuck like Chuck in the middle. But if you do a good job of analyzing, kind of doing overall analysis, and instead of focusing on just like, where's the trade, where's the trade, where's the trade, if you focus on your predictions and where do you think price is likely to go, you can find some pretty decent opportunities in the market. So that is today's trade of the day. Any questions from any of you guys watching the live stream before we boot you out? Only to invite you in yet again tomorrow. Reminder, as you mentioned earlier, we do have GDP coming out for Canada at 8:30 today. Consumer confidence for the dollar coming out later. Tomorrow is the bigger news day. We'll talk about that tomorrow. We got some funky stuff happening. We have U.S. GDP tomorrow. We've got Powell speaking tomorrow as well, as we kind of venture through the end of the year. We've got a few weeks left before the trading year is done. Typically after Thanksgiving is when my trading year wraps up. I like taking December completely off. We do have some high impact news events coming in December. A lot of central bank releases, a lot of interest rate decisions coming that second week of December, the 15th, 16th, whatever week that is. I guess this is the first week, the second week, the third week of December. So we're going to have some action in the market kind of going into more of the middle, so a little bit later in December this year than usual. So cool. Before you guys leave, do me a favor, hit that like button, subscribe if you're not subscribed already. That way you don't miss the next upload. And if you have any questions or comments, leave them in the comment section below. Live rumors, is there a particular place you would like to head to next? There's not a whole bunch in the market, but if you have something you want to head to next, let me know. If not, we're going to scroll through in order and just see what we're able to find.